At the end of every pour, I always scrape my table. That's assuming I didn't scrape the canvas because it was an absolute train wreck. And I take all of that paint and I store it in these little containers. And then every once in a while, I'm like, oh, what color is it today? Because it's a rainbow of colors that are in there. And that's the beauty of kind of doing the bloom, at least while I'm learning, with non-house paint. I don't have to be a hardware store full of every color known to man. I can just use whatever color Amsterdam makes or whatever brand of paint that you're using as my base. So I had lavender. So I went to Pinterest and I'm like, okay, what colors go with lavender? Because lavender is really not my jam. Not even remotely. So when I went to Pinterest, lo and behold, guess what I found out? That the Pantone color for 2022 is a color called VERI PERI. Unfortunately, when you Google acrylic paint VERI PERI, there really isn't anything. So I decided that I would kind of make my own VERI PERI. My ultramarine violet light and my permanent blue violet. And I didn't mix them together to make VERI PERI. I thought, you know what, when you blow it on the canvas, maybe I'll get VERI PERI. I don't know. Anyway, as always, my name is Tiffany Romine. Welcome to my channel. Join me down on the canvas and let's create a VERI PERI deconstructed bloom.
Saw you paint a picture of a face, a face that wasn't even close to mine. I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's so hard to move on. You haven't changed, you stayed the same. But if you did, I'd still love you anyway. I'd give you the world like I promised I would, even though you wouldn't do the same. I'd give you the world like I promised I would, even though you wouldn't do the same. Had this conversation more than 10 times. After 9, I still wish you were mine. Haven't ate in 7 days, 'cause I've been up till 6 a.m. Wrote 5 songs all just for you. 3 of them I can't bear listening to. I'd give you the world like I promised I would, even though you wouldn't do the same. I'd give you the world like I promised I would, even though you wouldn't do the same. I'd do anything you want me to, 'cause I love you.
And here's where the I'm still learning comes into play, because you know what? I kind of loved it just before this. I was going to cut in earlier and talk, but I didn't want to interrupt the song because it was kind of nice. Of course, I've got too much paint. I haven't figured out how much pillow versus how much puddle, so that when I get to a certain point of stretching it out, that I love the composition where I can stop. And maybe that's not even a thing. Maybe there's no such thing as actually figuring it out. You just keep going. But so far, this is part 3 of the Deconstructed Bloom journey. I hope you're liking the content so far. If you do and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, as it really helps my channel. And in between my videos, I've been testing to figure out how I can, scrap the whole Australian Floetrol thing. Yeah, because in this one, I used 2 cell activators. I did the titanium white and I did the oxide black. Again, I've watched a ton of videos and I've been doing a ton of research, and it seems like people are using Elmer's glue wall, which I don't even think I can get over here. But if I didn't want to add house paint, what makes me think I want to add glue? So if you've got any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. We can pick up the conversation down there. And as always, stay true to the end, to the dried results. And of course, my quirky, weird personality at the end of my, random thoughts that I have. And if that entertains you, feel free to stay tuned for that. And if not, at the dry results, you can drop off and go watch somebody else's video or binge watch some of my stuff. Anyway, ciao for now.
Come on over, let's pick up where we left off. You and I had lots of love just to top it off. We can wind it down for days, never let it stop. I just want your everything, baby. Maybe later we can dance, never let go. Listen to our favorite songs on the radio. Loosen up and lose ourselves to this feeling, oh. I just want your everything, baby. I'll be deep under your influence tonight. Ooh, keep it coming, babe. I don't mind another round. Drinking from your bottle, baby. Calling it wasted love, wasted love. I can't get enough of my baby. I'ma be wasted love.
Pantone? Do I say that right? Pantone, the definition of VERI PERI. A new Pantone color whose courageous presence encourages personal inventiveness and creativity, displaying a carefree confidence and a daring curiosity that animates our creative spirit. Helps us to embrace this altered landscape of possibilities, opening us up to a new vision as we rewrite our lives. Isn't that exactly where we all are? I'm sounding crazy.